Hello everyone, my name is Sydney Vance. I'm a percussionist with the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra and the Philadelphia Youth Symphonic Band, and I am here with PYO alumnus Dillon Scott.
Hey everyone, my name is Dillon Scott. I am a violist studying here at the Curtis Institute. I'm in my second year of my undergraduate degree. I was in PYO for 2 years and I graduated in 2022.
How did the idea for this concert come about, and what role did you play in curating the program?
Well, there's a lot of music out there that has been written specifically by Black composers that is not played as much as it should be played. And so I thought to come up with a way that I can organically allow my peers and faculty, coaches, and Curtis audiences to become familiarized with some of these names. And so I thought of a way to do a chamber music project, because there are chamber music projects here at Curtis. So I thought, well, that's a good place to start. So I curated a chamber music performance, exclusively of music from Black composers. And so I spent months last year researching names and biographies and pieces and scores and recordings, manuscripts, and instrument parts, all in the effort to find as much as I could from as many people as I could. And then I compiled it down and went through the impossible task of boiling it down to 4 pieces for one concert program. But then I was able to negotiate with the administration 2 separate performances for this program, as well as a number of community outreach performances and a performance at the Mann Center as well, which happened earlier in October at the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance meeting. My group actually brought one of their movements to perform as one of the artists in the roster, so that was really exciting.
Given the global influences in the concert's theme, how do you navigate the cultural nuances present in the music, and what steps were taken to ensure an authentic representation of each cultural element in the performance?
Well, I felt it was very important for every group to understand the influences that were put into the music when it was written. I sent extensive program notes to each group when I assigned them to the music, and I encouraged them all to further their research and understand. Specifically, there's one piece that does have a ton of different kinds of influences and genres infused in it, and that group really has risen above and beyond to really understand the cultural influence that goes into playing a piece like that. And so I think that the authenticity really does come from the passion and willingness to understand where these influences come from.
Can you share any specific pieces or composers in the program that you particularly resonate with, and why?
Well, to be honest, I resonate with all 4 of these pieces because they're, the pieces that I chose to include in this program, and the other, say, 20 or 25 pieces that I researched. But I think that they all represent different styles, different time periods, different cultures, different influences throughout the 20th and late 19th century. And so they all resonate with me equally, but for different reasons. Some are more based off of Black vernacular, some are more academic and intellectual, some are more based off of rhythm and dance, and some tend to align more with the tradition of Western music. And so I can't really pick one, but I think that they all resonate with me because of the genius of these 4 brilliant minds and how they weave together these influences and spoke with their own individual voices at the same time.
Being an alumnus of PYO, how has your experience in the organization influenced your time at Curtis and your approach to projects like chamber music of Black composers?
Well, I have great memories, obviously, of being in PYO, and I remember specifically that there was a big effort in playing the music, specifically William Grant Still. I remember each year we played a piece of his, and I joined the orchestra around 2020 when all of this was starting to really become more well-known. A lot of this music was starting to become more mainstream, and I remember right in the wake of that, PYO started playing William Grant Still's music, and he was really my first way into this world that I had not discovered up until then. And from then on, those experiences, his symphonies are just fantastic. Really, really amazing. And they don't sound like anyone else's music. It's purely original. It's so American, and it's just really amazing. And I think PYO's experience for me was really great. I had the opportunity to lead the section, and so I definitely got orchestral experience doing that. But I also got experience playing really core repertoire and playing in Verizon Hall and really connecting with peers of mine that had similar passions and connections to music that I didn't necessarily feel I had at my high school growing up. And so there's a lot of ways that PYO really was my way into this world, and that has continued until today.
What do you hope the audience takes away from this concert, specifically in terms of broadening perspectives on classical music?
Well, I could write a whole book about this, but I think that there's a lot to say with that. First of all, I'm well aware that this performance itself can't really affect the world in the way that I would like it to be affected over time. That can only be done with a considerable amount of effort from a lot of people. So my aim for this program is to move people to the point where they become inspired as well to take a part in this, because we all have a say. Most of us in this audience are members of the artistic community, either as educators or students or musicians or patrons of the arts, or even just merely people from the public that attend concerts. We all have a say in this, and if we truly are inspired by this music, which I believe to be really profound, then there is so much that each and every one of us can individually do to take this baton and move it a few steps forward. There's so much possibility out there. So in many ways, I wanted this project to be a glimpse at what is possible in the future if we all care that much about it becoming a reality.
Looking ahead, how do you see initiatives like chamber music of Black composers contributing to a more inclusive and diverse landscape in classical music? And what role can young musicians play in shaping this future?
Well, I think that first and foremost, Curtis is one of the flagship institutions in the world. And the amount of influence this school wields is immense. And so even the principal of this school playing this music here and now, recording it and publishing it on their platforms, almost acts as an endorsement and a nod to other organizations to follow suit. Furthermore, the students here are some of the most proficient and talented students in the world, and if they are familiar with this music, if they have played this music and they believe in this music, then they will go out in their lives and know these names and know these pieces and have the experience to take this baton forward. Similarly, the concert audiences that come here are familiar with so much music because there's so many performances throughout the year, and so if this becomes these become some of the regular composers that are played here, these pieces are more well known amongst the audiences than that. This is one of the most educated groups of audiences you could ask for, and so I think that that's really important. And secondly, I think it's very important to educate youth on this for two reasons. One, they become familiarized, obviously, with these names and this music. But furthermore, seeing an initiative like this is important for them because it gives them a voice. It gives them the power to see the things they want to change and find the voice in themselves to try and be that change they want to see. And in many ways, the youth are our future. And I would love to inspire them to continue this and to continue looking for names, continue to broaden their horizons for what's possible, what is not being done now that needs to be done. And so, in many ways, I see those all as ways that the ripples of this event can benefit this industry and society, and one step at a time, one person at a time.